YouTube, what's good? It's your boy, Paul Harris. Hold on. Is it doing anything? Okay. What's good, y'all? It's your boy, Paul Harris, aka Crazy Uncle. Hey, guess what? This your first time tuning in. Go ahead, hit that doggone subscribe button, hit the notification bell every time I post some new content. Um, Latest and greatest is oh. Damn, what the fuck did I just do? Oh hell. uh Latest and greatest. Well, I ain't gonna necessarily say that it's latest and greatest, but um, damn, brother, y'all all these damn notifications. But latest and greatest, Kanye back in the news once again. Um, he was on Alex Jones. I want to say a week ago, with his mask on, all that kind of stuff. And so, for me, right, I look at the simple fact that, you know, everybody, for the most part, know who you are, right? They already know what you look like, and for the most part, they know what you sound like, which is actually really going to be um, key element here. And the only reason why I say that is because you know I've been around for a minute, so and then it was and I've seen a lot of stuff that has happened during my time, during the time I've been living, where that I can actually really question things, right? And whether or not I actually really want to call bullshit on it or not. And then there's other things that I haven't seen, but actually I really went and did research on, and for the most part, I actually really came up with the same doggone conclusion. I say all that to say this that when you get a government, it ain't necessarily got to be the United States government, but it just so happens for what I'm about to talk about, it just happens to be the United States government, right? Because I look at it like this, right? Anytime when a country will conspire to kill the main person that that's actually really going to represent the country, right? Then that listen, just know that the playbook is wide open, right? It's almost like, okay, it's almost like playing football almost. So you get the ball. Well, they put like this: whether you get the ball at the start of the first half or the start of the second half, right? So you get the ball or whatever, and then so your playbook is open. So we all know you get 3 yards. I mean, you get 3 tries of going 10 yards for the first down. Okay, so this at this point of the juncture, right? Depending on if you did your homework against the other team, whatever, and then you can be like, okay, well, we can do this, this, and this, right? So let's just say for shits and giggles, right? you get 8 yards out of the 10 that you need for the first down, right? Whether it's a run play or whether it's a pass play, just know that you got 8 yards out of that. So on that particular in that particular situation, guess what? Playbook is wide open. You can most you can pretty much do any goddamn thing, right? Unless you act like really fuck it up, right? Or the defense actually really pitting their ears back and be like, you know what? We still got y'all still got these 2 yards that y'all gotta get out that y'all gotta get. So uh so again, right? I look at that, I'm like, okay, well, hey, look, the president got knocked off by his own countrymen, right? And so, like I say, playbook wide open, right? So now you fast forwarded, and you fast forwarded to 20, 2001, right? Twin Towers fall. We already know it's an inside job, depending on who you talk to, right? Because you still got people out there that believe that terrorists actually really hijacked airplanes, ran into the buildings, and they came down in pancake fashion, right? But well, a lot of people, I'm not gonna say because that was 21 years ago. So there's a lot of stuff that has transpired between 2001 and now, where that a lot of the stuff, the technologies out there, 9 times out of 10 has been out there, right? And um, how I'm trying to say this, yeah, you have your voice. They got equipment out there where they can alter your voice, make you sound like somebody else, make you look like somebody else, right? So I just look at it like this, right? And I said this yesterday, as far as like the preview goes, right? So Kanye comes in there with a mask on, right? And I'm just like, and just like what I said at the early part, right? You can, everybody know what you look like, everybody know what you sound like. So, so again, all what I'm saying is this, people. I truly, honestly believe right to this day that wasn't under Kanye on Alex Jones. I really don't. I truly, honestly believe that wasn't Alex Jones. I mean Alex Jones. That wasn't that wasn't Kanye on Alex Jones. Because again, why show up in a mask? Okay, I mean everybody know what the fuck you look like, and then that's what I'm saying. It's all I'm saying. You also got stuff out there that you know. I mean, like I say, they can alter your face, they can alter your voice. So, and all this stuff is none of this stuff is brand new, people. This technology has been around forever and a day, right? And like I say, a lot of people say, well, Kanye crazy. Okay, well, that could be the case, right? But all I'm saying is that I don't put nothing past no motherfucker, right? Oh, yeah. What's good?
Oh, just watching the World Cup. Morocco beat Spain. In the world of soccer, that's a pretty big deal.
Yeah. So, uh, me personally,
The Bucks, the Bucks came back and won too.
yeah. I mean, I saw some of that game last night, but after a while, I just turned away from it. Uh, I was watching other stuff. And with this Odell Beckham sweepstakes that's going on right now, uh, I actually really think that seems like that's taking up more attention than anything else. Right now. So, but in either
He's
case,
he's kind of a paper tiger. I thought he's kind of floating around now. There's so much talent out there, but I thought the Deion Sanders move to University of Colorado and his speech was more impactful.
yeah, and I'm actually like really glad that you brought that because that was gonna be the next topic of discussion because all of the people, especially everybody down there in Jackson State, you know, they seem to be pretty upset because he's leaving, and I'm just like, okay, why? It's almost like, okay, well, and me and you can actually like really agree to this, right? You never always leave a place better than what you found. And so basically, that's all what the fuck Deion Sanders did, right? He left that place better than what he found it. And so now it's like, okay, I'm gonna go and I'm gonna do bigger and better things or whatever. Everybody mad. They like I said, I've been watching a lot of stuff on the internet. This one channel that I'm subscribed to. It was just one comedian. He had like he was gonna get a posse together and go hunt down Dion because he left. And you know, and so, so but I'm just looking at it like this, right? I mean, to be the type of caliber of person that Dion is, I mean, he brings a lot to the table, right? And then, I just feel like, okay, I just look at it like, okay, well, if he want to take his talent somewhere else, then hey, let him do that. That man, he listen, he grown, and then
It's like when you get promoted in the military. Some
yeah,
of the guys who are like on your same level are like, oh, okay. It's like,
yeah,
well, isn't that the goal?
yeah. I mean, because again, just like I say, you get promoted, you know, you have to, or at least that's what they say. You have to carry yourself you have to carry yourself different versus how you were before you got promoted, right? And so I think this is all what this is. I mean, if and because my deal is whatever the hell that he was making down there in Jackson State, right? And then I'm actually really going back and I'm looking at all the stuff we did. They were saying like this Dion, he donated half of his salary back into the school, right? So
Yeah, he was getting 600,000, which now he's getting 5.9 a year, and he
yeah,
was getting 600,000, 300 of which he put into the locker rooms, put in the facilities. They didn't even have clean fucking drinking water. It was
yeah,
like he's like he had this whole press conference about them not being able to make ice on game day because the drinking water was suspect. And it's like, man, he did more for Jackson State than they even fucking know. They went from a non-contender in the SWAC to winning the championship in the SWAC. Um, Obviously, he's going to go to a Power Five school, and when he goes to a Power Five school, he's going to bring some of those dogs with him, and they're going to hunt. And uh, everyone could fuck off. How about that?
yeah. I mean,
Because
because
it's ridiculous.
yeah,
How
and
about
then
thank you? How about thank you, Mr. Sanders? We appreciate
yeah,
you, Coach Prime. The fuck are you talking about?
exactly. And then that what the I don't know if he's the dean or the president of that school. I mean, for him to actually really come out on Twitter and say that he hopes that he fails, right? And I'm like, okay, damn. Do you know how stupid you just made yourself look right now?
Fire that guy.
And
He
so
did more for your institution than you know.
yeah, and then
Nobody even knew.
and
Nobody even knew what Jackson. Nobody even knew what Jackson State was before Dion.
yeah, exactly. I mean, because I didn't know nothing about the school.
Wow.
I didn't know nothing about the school until Dion showed up there, right? And
But
so
it's that mentality that's just like really,
yeah, so I
really.
mean, so then like I said, I was watching the comedy
When are you gonna
heights.
start yelling at your seniors who don't opt out to the draft? You know what I'm saying? Oh, or you're redshirted. Like, really?
Yeah,
I'm gonna get in
and
the
then
NI. I'm gonna get in the NIL portal and transfer to Colorado. At least I'm gonna try.
yeah, and then
I would. I get the hell out of Jackson. That's what the fuck I would do.
yeah,
Uh,
and so like the folk on comedy
if
heights,
that
they were
really, I didn't see that. The dean said that.
yeah, he said that it's on Twitter. I mean,
Are you serious? After
yeah,
he donated and did what he did?
I mean,
Wow,
I forget the guy's name, but he acts like you know
dumbass. His
he
name
acts like
Dean
really
Dumbass.
he actually really went out there and like, well, I hope that you fail. I'm just like, if
Wow.
if
Thanks,
if
bud.
they, but I just look at it like this. Here's an individual, and I know you've heard of this saying before. Here's an individual. He was a crab, right? He in the crab pot. He tried to get out like all of the rest of the crabs. So he got out, became a success. Then he went back into the crab pot, right? Brought that school up. And so he was like, okay, well, I've done what I can do. I'm going to go somewhere else now, right? I mean, because we all know Dion went to Florida State, right? Like, instead of going back to Florida State or whatever, he went down there, just like I said, turned that whole program around. And, I'm
He
just like, okay,
in that speech, because it was between USF, University of South Florida, which is in Tampa. Funny enough, they play in the Buck Stadium, and University of Colorado. And University of Colorado, he said it in the beginning of his speech. Dion said, he said, he was talking about how many African American coaches or black coaches were fired and then not rehired by black coaches. And the reason he says this is because 70% of all of the NCAA consists of black players and it should be represented. He said it's ridiculous. And you got these Power Five schools that have these guys who are just like, they're like dons. Basically, they just got the boosters on the line. They're getting paid. They understand what's going on. And he is attempting to build character, make change, grow men, and get individuals into the NFL. This is a Hall of Fame, best in his class at his position player, a once in a lifetime talent. Period. People may forget that. Like it's like, did you forget who Deion Sanders is? And then secondarily, his character, what he's bringing to the table, his leadership qualities are impeccable. And for
yeah,
Jackson State to do that, Jackson State, quite frankly, hey, ride the fucking coattails. You know who you are. If you were big time, you wouldn't be there, right? If you were big time, you'd be in a Power Five conference. Oh, we're not getting the chance. We're not getting this. We're not getting that. You're not getting that because of this behavior. Even your own fucking dean is a dumbass. Okay?
yeah.
The only shining light you had for even to get clean running water in that facility was Deion Sanders, and you want to shit talk him? Wow,
And like I say,
dumbasses.
and
Good
so
for Boulder. Good for the state of Colorado and good for the city of Boulder
yeah,
because
and
how many
then
young black men who come out the fucking hood are going to be going to Boulder, Colorado? You know what I'm saying? Like, what the fuck are you talking about?
Yeah. And then it's just for the simple fact that here it is that when you have black people,
Yeah, I
so-called
do I
black
want to
people,
stay in Jackson or do I want to go to Boulder? It's like,
yeah.
well, come on.
And so don't say, so you get all these so-called black folks, right? They always talking about, oh, well, we don't ever get our shot. We don't ever get our shot. We don't ever get our shot. Okay, so here it is. Dion got his shot, and now so they say, oh no, don't take it. So I mean,
People said they were threatening him.
I mean, I don't. I mean, I know they was. I know like it was one game. I think once they found out that
They
Dion was,
robbed him during halftime.
yeah, I know it
He
was
got
one game.
robbed during halftime.
Who got robbed?
Dion got
Oh,
robbed
yeah,
during
so that's what.
halftime.
Yeah, because maybe that. So that's why he said it's crime free where he was where
Yeah.
he was going. So,
Well, no, but
um,
he gave this whole speech where he said he doesn't cuss. He says "dern." He doesn't even say "damn." He says "dern," like DERN. And
yeah,
he's like, man, we just won this such and such game, and this is, we just qualified from this, and this was a huge goal, and this should be, quite frankly, I made it from the bottom, and this is what I wanted to do, and I want to celebrate this. And he's like emotional, like he's tearing up, and he's like, I can't even enjoy this moment because my phone's gone, my wallet's gone, my jewelry's gone, some personal items I have are gone. Not my purse, but like my bag is gone. Thank God I'm wearing a couple of these chains on the field, otherwise they'd be gone. And this is happening while I'm getting one of the biggest accomplishments of my life on the field. So
yeah,
now you're asking me as a reporter, how do you feel? He's like, I feel violated. I feel it's just like, really,
yeah,
really, guys. It's one of the nicest men on the planet. He's the real deal. It's not a show. It's not a gimmick. He is the real deal. And it's just I don't bunch of
yeah,
dumbasses down in JSU.
yeah. I mean, like I said, and then it was one thing on there. It was what this one comedian said. Talking about, well, Dion, he's gone from he said he didn't left for he didn't went from Jackson, Jackson State or whatever. Talking about now he's going to the whitest of the white. I'm like, no, because
Come
I'm just
on.
like, you don't know, but because I'm like this. Okay, if he was going to the whitest of the white, then he would have either been trying to get the head coaching job for Harvard, Yale, or Notre Dame, or whatever. Some of them Ivy League folks, some of them Ivy
Yeah,
League
but
colleges.
here's the thing about that statement, right?
Uh,
Hey, so let's get this right then. We could never change. We could never have progress. We could never get across. It's ridiculous.
yeah, exactly. That's exactly what it is. It's almost like that. Just like what I said earlier, right? You're a crab. You're trying to get out the pot.
That's
You get out the
ridiculous.
pot. You get out the pot. All right. Well, we lost contact. So, and he'll come back. So basically, it's like, okay, well, hey, you in the pot, and you get out, and you try to get out the pot. You get out the pot, you become a success, right? And so, for the most part, so you go back in the pot and bring some more crabs out, if you will, and then you be like, okay, well, I done brought y'all up enough. Here are the tools to get out of the pot, right? Now, I done did, he said, well, look, my work here is done. So, all right, there you go. So,
Sorry, I got a
uh,
phone call there. What I'm
uh,
saying is, like, what you got in Boulder is individuals inviting other individuals into their community. If this is the case, then nobody could ever win. If you're going to keep that energy, like, it's like, Oh, it's a crime-free place. It's nice. Education is important. We have bonuses based on education. We want to get individuals into the NFL. We're a Power Five school. You have full control over the NIL portal. We want you to draft guys from other major universities. We have no problem what their color is or nothing. Shut the fuck up. It's like people want to be victims.
Yeah, you know, it's
So it's like,
you,
so you think black people shouldn't live in Boulder, Colorado? It's like, shut the fuck up. They opened up the floodgates. They opened up the doors. Like, god damn. Well, Jerry Jones, had this picture. It's like, come on, man. All right.
yeah,
Well, then I guess he's just everything's done forever. Then guess we
yeah.
can't have nothing nice here.
I mean, because my whole deal is about that photo, right? And again, black folks, I'm just looking at some fact, okay, and Stephen A. I think he said it best, right? So here's somebody that just took a picture, and for the most part, you really don't know what Jerry is doing in the picture. Is he actually really trying to figure out what the fuck is going on? Is he actually like really trying to stop these black kids from entering the school, right? And then, the thing about it though, because I've been conversating with people on other channels about that particular photo, right? And so, so I just asked the question. So he was 14 years old on that picture because his birthday was the following month, right? And so I just look at it like this. Do you really think that a 14-year-old Jerry Jones was actually really thinking about becoming the owner of the Dallas Cowboys? And then I said, oh, wait a minute. The Cowboys wasn't even in the league back in 1957, right? So I'm just like, well, Stephen A. said, you can't fault that man or that boy rather, right? For what the hell you think that he was doing at the age of 15. Because I'm just like, okay, I can't hell. I can't even remember what the fuck I did 2 months ago, let alone when I was 14, right? And then Jerry himself said, hey, look, that was 65 years ago. Y'all gonna bring this shit up now?
65 years.
You know?
It's so ridiculous. If someone asked me about something 5 years ago, I'm like, tell them
Yeah. I mean,
65 years ago.
yeah. That's what I'm saying. I mean, that's almost as bad. It's just like what you said, I can't even remember what the fuck I did two months ago, let alone what the fuck I did at the age of 15. You know?
He hates black dudes so much. He made so many millionaires of them.
Yeah. So that I'm saying, and then everybody, I tend to
He
look
hates
at,
them so bad. He hates them so bad. Is making them millionaires. They
yeah,
obviously don't care about winning. That's a whole nother NFL discussion.
yeah. So
But
I'm just like,
wow, really?
yeah, I'm just like, I'm just
Come
like, wow.
on.
I'm just like, wow, y'all really, boy, talk about being an archaeologist. Yeah, y'all went there. Instead of 65 million years, y'all just went back 65 years. So, uh, I mean, just like I said,
How many million over 65 has he given to the black community?
yeah, I mean, then they were saying,
I'm just at
then,
like honestly, you think he's you know what I'm saying? Like, what are we even talking about here? Nonsense.
yeah, I mean, and then then they want to clown him like, okay, well, he ain't never hired no black coach,
Well,
and I'm
first
just
of
like,
all, what the fuck ever happened to I own this shit? I'll do whatever the fuck I want.
exactly, right,
He's
you
the
know,
owner of that fucking team. Shut up.
yeah,
White,
and
black, brown, yellow, purple. Who gives a fuck?
yeah, I mean, because I'm just because I look at it like this. Hell, if I was the owner of a professional football team, right? And then because Jerry said this, he said, "Hey, look, I got this football team, so of course I'm gonna bring in people that I know first." Just like say he brought in Jimmy Johnson first, right? Because they went to school together. Him, Jimmy, and Barry Switzer all went to the University of Arkansas. Matter of fact, those three were on the team that the Arkansas Razorbacks won as a put like this. They were on the only championship football team that the Arkansas Razorbacks ever had. Those three were on it. So so of course you get to be a businessman. You get to be a football owner. Of course you're gonna bring in your buddies. You know, and I'm just looking at it like this, right? If I was to own a football franchise, right? And I'm just gonna come out and say it. Look, I'm not finna hire. Yeah, I might hire you, but guess what? You ain't finna be the head coach because 9 times out of 10 you don't know shit about football. You watching it on TV just like I am, right? So, I'm, so again, I'm gonna go hire the most qualified individual, right? Regardless of motherfucking color. It's almost, that's almost as bad as when Barack Obama was running for president. And then and then when you ask people, I mean, think about it for a minute. You go back and you ask all those people that voted for Barack, they could be like, why you voting for him? Oh,
Run the Barack.
they're like, oh, I'm voting for him because he's black. So you don't give a shit about his political views. You just
Yeah,
voted for him because he's black. Wow. Okay.
he's black. Well, he's as much white as he is black.
Yeah. So and again, I guess
50-50.
a lot of
If
I
every president was black, yeah, I guess he'd be the first white president.
so put like this. In either case,
I'm
I've
just
always
kidding. Barack Hussein. Listen. I'll take Barack Hussein in a minute. Oh, what the fuck we got going on now?
oh yeah, so either that or Trump.
We have no issues with him.
Yeah. So they're like I say, either that or Trump, So because
Yeah, no, I don't give a fuck. Put Bush in there. Put Clinton in there. Whatever. Better,
yeah,
better than what the fuck is going on this planet right now.
yeah. So
Barack Hussein. This is how I know he's kind of decent. He hates Biden. Michelle Obama and Barack hate Biden. They don't
yeah.
like him.
I mean, so again, I just look at it like this, right? You know, and this is what I said before the election. I said everybody, you so hurried to get Trump out of office, right? But you really don't know shit about who you bringing in office, right? I mean, and so, I'm just like I say, that would always get me because, like this, at least you knew what type of person Trump was, right? You don't know shit about Biden, right? You know, I mean, if you actually really want to go back and look at his track record for those 47 years that he was in office, as far as like being a senator is concerned, right? I mean, here's some, and I hate to say it, here's somebody that's been in office for as many years as I've been born, right? This motherfucker been in office like 49 years now. Dog, get that shit a rest, right? Let somebody else, they're like, that, give somebody else a chance to actually really run the country. And then, I also look at it like this. I think if Biden doesn't win, and I could be wrong, right? But because I just look at it like this, these look, they already know who's gonna be in office, who ain't gonna be in office. But I also look at it like, okay, well, if Kamala Harris, or however the hell you pronounce her name, if she's not on that
Who
ticket,
gives a
Biden
fuck?
doesn't get in office. You know, that just again, that just me talking though.
Can I ask you a
But
question?
what's that?
You're a concerned American citizen. What is one thing that she's done that you could point to? Saying, I'm not even trying to be negative. Just tell me one thing she's done, or a speech she's given, or something that was impactful to you.
Nothing. I mean,
Nobody knows who the fuck this bitch is.
and so that's and see and
No, I'm
that
serious. I follow politics like a motherfucker. What? Who is she?
I mean, I know she worked her way out. I think she was like I don't want to say if she was a prosecuting attorney at one point, or and
Yeah,
then
she
she
was,
came,
and she put a
yeah,
lot of
and she
black men in jail.
yeah, she was a firm believer of that three strikes and you're out rule. She was a firm
Yeah.
believer of that, right? So I'm just like, okay, well, you probably have done more, you probably done more damage than good. But
First of all, have you looked up her ethnicity?
oh, so she claimed to be Indian, but
Yeah, I'm telling you, it's all funky.
yeah, because she'll be the first one to tell you that she's not black or African American. She'll come flat out and tell you and say that, right? You
She's
know,
not.
so I mean, for me, right? I could, you know, I could care
Listen
less.
to me.
If,
Clarence Thomas on the Supreme Court, on the Supreme Court, he's black.
yeah,
All right.
yeah.
Barack
So
Obama is not black. If you
and we
say he's
all know,
black, you have to say he's white.
well,
His
that
husband, excuse me, his wife is black.
you was right the first time. Uh, so I just look at it like this, right? Again, I don't know who she is. I don't know what the fuck that she's actually really done, you know, in order for her to be vice president. But then again, listen, this goes back to Barack Obama, right? You know, we can sit up here now. A lot of people say, whether you want to call this man black, whether you want to call this man white, or if you want to call this motherfucker half and half, right? You know, everybody was just looking at the simple fact, oh, he black. Let's put him in office, right? And it's the same thing with Kamala Harris. Oh, she's a woman. Let's put her in office, right? That's all what the fuck that is. You know, I would,
Exactly.
I, you know, I, you know,
When I say
I,
these things, I'm not being disrespectful to him or her. I'm
yeah,
saying it's not accurate.
yeah.
It's not accurate. Where the
Hey,
fuck is
listen,
this guy even from? I was born in Hawaii. And Trump. Here's the thing about Trump. When he launches like these tirades, the way he did about the birth certificate, you don't think there's
yeah.
something there?
Oh, yeah. I know. I
I
mean,
really
because
don't give a fuck if he was born in Kenya. Who gives a fuck? I don't really give a shit about that, quite frankly. Newsflash: I was born in Africa. Uh, Only issue is I joined the military, so there's no way I can be fucking president. You
yeah.
covered
So
it up, and apparently, you were raised in Hawaii, and you became a senator out of Chicago for some reason, for no apparent reason.
yeah.
And whatever, I'm not hating on you. Quite frankly, I'd take you right now compared to what we got. But it's like, don't play this whole the first black president thing. Listen, you're as much white as you are black. Same thing as Bob Marley. You're as much white as you are black. White mom, black dad. Okay, are we not supposed to address this?
Hey, I just look
Well,
at
that,
it
that
like,
that's offensive. How is it offensive?
yeah. Well, it ain't a fit. You play this. If you,
It's the fact.
I just look at it like this. Everybody want to say that he's the first black president. I beg to differ because there were
Yeah, tell that to
seven
Frederick.
others.
Tell that to Frederick Douglass.
Yeah, it was seven others, right, before him.
Tell that to Ben
That
Carson. Tell that to Herman King. Tell that to. Come on, man.
yeah. So so I mean, I never, me personally, I never bought into that, you know,
And
and
his mom works with the CIA.
yeah. So
Was a hussy. Was a hussy for the CIA.
so what doing?
Like on record. His middle name. Yeah, got a white mom, and his middle name's Hussein. Yeah, you
you
fucking dumbasses. Bunch of dumbasses. And he's been radio fucking silent ever since.
yeah.
Fuck out of
Well,
here.
well, he did call himself trying to clown Herschel Walker, right? Uh,
Yeah, yeah,
but
yeah,
but then again, I'm just like, well, he Democrat,
yeah. Right.
Herschel is
An actual
Republican.
black man who's trying to actually fucking do something. God
Yeah.
forbid he's a conservative. Right? Can you imagine a black man with a brain who's a conservative? God forbid.
you know, I
What a sin. What a
it
sin.
man. I mean, I just look at it like this. You know, people. You know, they. I don't know what type of criteria that you're supposed to follow, right? I mean, here's a guy. Okay, yes, he's a former football player, or whatever, and whether or not he got babies scattered all over the place, that's neither here nor there. Hell, he was a football player. Fuck you expect, you know? I'm just putting it out there, right? And then here come his son or whatever, right?
Oh,
Well, he wasn't never here and he wasn't blah 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 blah. And I'm like, okay, so I'm, and whatever that stuff.
I'll tell you exactly what happened. He asked his dad for a couple grand. Herschel tried to teach him some values and said, "No, son, you're going to work for that." And then this dumbass went and took, I don't know, a quick, probably, who knows? It's surprising. Could be between 5 to 8,000 to come up with some bullshit allegation. And it's like, I hate my dad. It's a little kid. It's like, man, are you fucking crazy? Do you know how incredibly important it would be for Herschel Walker to be a senator in the state of Georgia? Like, I don't think you understand that for the African American community. And, like, you took 5 to 8 grand to derail your actual father. You dumbass. You dumbass.
Yeah,
Fucking
I mean,
crazy, man.
because
Like, it's like,
I'm like you. You'd be like, okay, you'd be like, hey, my dad was this great football player, right? And now he has uh, another opportunity as to be senator for the state of Georgia.
where there
You
used to
know,
be slave ownership, the
yeah.
epitome of slave ownership.
And I'm just like, you know, I'm not finna fuck that up for my dad. If I was in that guy's, if I was in his shoes, I'm just like, you know what?
Not even fuck it up, manipulate it.
Yeah. I mean, I'm just saying I wouldn't do it. You know, I mean, it's just like, oh, like, shut up. You know, shut
Well,
the fuck
here's
up.
the thing, especially these kids, like they're entitled. It's like I could tell you exact. I don't know for sure, but I'm just guessing. Like He asked for money. My dad's a fucking, one of the best ever. He should have all these millions. He should have the bag. He should have this. I'm a rich kid. And like Shaq said to his kids, he said it famously. He said, I'm rich, you're not. These kids lost their fucking mind.
Yeah.
And then they grow up as children until they're in their 30s. And it's just not appropriate. And they
No,
want to
it's
give
not.
him a hard time. Oh, he's not a great orator. He's not a great speaker. Oh wow, we thought he'd be more professional. He's this close to being senator in a state that used to be the epitome of slavery, and you fuck it up for your bloodline. Are you out of your mind?
Ah, and well, that just goes to show you he ain't in his, he that just goes to show you he ain't in his right mind, you know. But you know what though? I think the best to ever do it, as far as like celebrities, regardless of division, right? Um, Mark Cuban, uh, isn't he owner of the Dallas Mavericks? I think so. But
Yes.
you know, uh, now he got kids, right?
Yeah.
And he ain't giving them kids nothing. And so I'm just like, you know what? That's how you're supposed to do it. Because I'm just like, okay, well, yeah, I got this money because I went out, I busted my ass, I did what I had to do. Now I own a basketball team, right? You my child, I get it. Well, guess what? If I had to go out and get it, God damn it, you gonna do the exact same thing, right? Now,
Greatest gift you could give them.
yeah, I
They're
mean,
in the hospital. If they're in the hospital, if they're in jail, of course he's coming.
yeah,
But it's like we're not just sitting on the couch. It's fucking off.
exactly. You know, I've always respected, put like this, any celebrity that do that, that have kids and they do that to their kids, they're like say, it's the best thing that you could actually really do for them because for one, it shows them or it gives them responsibility that acts like really care about them. Yeah, I losing signal for whatever reason, but
I can hear you loud and clear now. You're out for a
yeah,
little bit.
but what I was saying, it teaches them, you know, responsibility to actually respect the value of a dollar, whatever that may be, right? But um, it's almost like, okay, well, my daddy got this or my mama got that. No, yeah, you're right. They got it, right? But what do you have? So um, I've always, but just like I said, every celebrity parent is not gonna do that, but but I'll be the first one to say I really wish the hell that they would, right? You know, again, just to act like really be like, okay, well, hey, look, I did, I did well. Mom and dad did it, so what's my problem? So um, it is, but to actually really go out there and act like really try to derail what your dad is trying to do, right? You know,
His life's work.
yeah, I'm just like,
Are you,
okay,
are you a unique human being? What do you have going for you? The only thing you got going for you that you're Herschel Walker's son, and the only reason that's relevant is because there's fucking Herschel Walker.
yeah. So, It's just, just like I said, it's actually like it's really is beyond me, because it's and I tend to look at it the same way, you know, with I mean that's like with any walks of life, I mean I'm just, fortunate for me, that like when I was in, I didn't have no, I mean, granted the fact my dad was in prior to me joining, right? But he really wasn't like, famous. Didn't nobody know. I mean, didn't nobody know who my dad was except for the people that worked around him, right? He wasn't no. I mean, yeah, he was high ranking, right? But it wasn't for it wasn't for the simple fact that once I came in, that I was actually like really trying to live off of what my dad did. Now I created I created my own path. I didn't use my dad or anybody else for that matter. Everything that I did, I actually like really I created that, and then even like with even if my son, because he was talking about joining, and I said no, you carry your ass to school, right? Go to school, get your education, go pick up your motherfucking trade, right? Don't bring your ass into the army because that's my son. I love him to death, but just know he wouldn't have last 5 minutes in basic training. I, this,
Yeah, it's a new generation.
it just, it is, it is what it is. So I mean, I'm like, look, go do something else, right? Go be a success somewhere else. Don't try to do what I did, right? I mean, I can't put it, I can't put it, I can't make it no clearer than that, So, because again, you and I both know the shit that we did, everybody can't do. It ain't meant for everybody to do,
I
you
see
know?
people. I walk through like department stores, just regular industry. I walk through these places and I look how people are working. I see what their attitude is. I see their demeanor, and I go, "Oh, it gives me anxiety." I go like, it gives me anxiety because I go like, "Oh no, these motherfuckers would never, ever, ever make it to the motor pool. Fuck the motor pool. You ain't gonna make it out of basic. If you make it out of basic, you ain't making it through AIT. If you don't make it through AIT, you're gonna get shipped off to a unit and you're gonna walk into a motor pool. It's just not for you, team. I'm telling you, it's just not. It, yeah, I make $19 an hour. I've been here for 4 years. It's like, listen to me. It, it's a different thing.
Yeah. It's just like,
You're just not gonna be able to. I hate to explain it. You're just not gonna be able to do it.
yeah, it's just like when I was on another podcast a few years back. Matter of fact, I think it was last year, and it was this, because they knew that I did 21 years in the United States Army, so they brought in this other guy that he supposedly had served, right? So he was stationed there at Fort Hood, Texas. So I'm listening to this guy, right? And I mean, knowing how Republicans treat the armed forces, right? And then this motherfucker he actually came on that podcast, said, well, we didn't have no money to train. And I'm like,
What?
really? And you on Fort Hood, Texas, the biggest I'm like, you on Fort Hood, Texas, the biggest army installation stateside. And you was in during the Reagan period, right? You motherfuckers had money. So I'm just like, dog, look, Just say that you was an old piece of shit soldier. That's exactly what I told him, right? And he
He's
get all
what are you
mad
saying? We
about
didn't
it.
have no money to train.
Yeah. I'm like, put like
What
this.
does that even mean?
I'm just like, you
You know, I had
always
one
gonna have.
guy. Hey, I had one guy in front of a Walmart by the VA, not in the VA, in front of the VA at a regional office. You know, what he told me
What's that?
we're going back and forth. He says, I have a couple like just you know parameter questions. And he said, I asked him, I said, what's your MOS? He said, what is an MOS? And I just walked. All I did was just take my bag and I just walked away. He's like, where are you going? I'm just like, nope.
And
What
so,
is an MOS?
and that pretty much sounded like the same guy. That sounded like the
What the
same guy
fuck?
that,
Like, yeah,
that
this
I was
dude, this
dealing
dude
with.
might have had a roommate or a brother or a sibling that was in the military. The motherfucker probably never in the military.
Yeah, yeah. Now,
We
because
didn't
now the
have
guy
no
that I
money
was,
to train. Like, that's not even a statement that can come out of your fucking mouth. Like, I don't even.
yeah,
What do you mean we have? Like, that's not. It's not gonna be privy to you. Number one, you don't know what the budget is, and make no mistake, they had a budget. And number three, excuse me,
yeah. It was funny to
like,
me.
what type of fucking civilians you been rolling up into to tell them we didn't have enough money to enough money? Are you
Yeah,
out of your fucking mind?
because
And
he
he's at
said,
Fort Hood. He said,
yeah, yeah. He was at Fort Hood. He was stationed
"Yeah,
at Fort Hood.
oh yeah, yeah, yeah." The
And
road broke.
yeah, I'm just like, and I told him, I said,
Yeah,
dog,
it's only 3 corps. It's only the biggest military base on the fucking planet. Yeah,
yeah.
real
I
broke.
told him, and I told him, I said, dog, listen, I was stationed at Fort
Fucking,
Hood.
that's retarded. That is the
Listen,
most retarded thing I've ever heard.
I told him, I said, listen, I was stationed at Fort Hood from 2006 until I doggone retired. Fort Hood, Texas has always had money to train. So you can take that, you know, you can take that, throw
Mm,
that shit out the window, because then he claimed that he was a tanker, right?
oh,
Which,
yeah, they definitely don't have money. You
yeah,
fucking
I mean,
nuts. First, armored division. Yeah, they don't got cash.
yeah,
Really?
yeah. So I kind of find that hard to believe. And
Yeah.
then they were saying that he wasn't a tanker
Maybe he
then,
worked at the BX. Maybe he worked for
and
APs.
then yeah, then he went from being a tanker. Then they were saying that he had an office job, and then he went from an office job to act like having
Charlie's.
a job.
Remember when they make the Philly cheesesteaks at the PX?
Yeah,
Charlie's.
yeah,
Maybe he went to that to the Charlie's, and then he went from that to the PX, and next thing you know, he's a glorified Walmart employee.
yeah. So, and then what's so bad
Wow.
about it? What's so bad about it, right?
I'm a tanker with no budget.
No, no. Listen, my my wife, because my wife, she was sitting right beside me when I really digging in this guy's ass, right? And the whole time, my wife was like, "Calm down, calm down." I'm like, "No, he needs to hear this. You can't sit up here and tell me that Fort Hood ain't never you on Fort Hood, Texas. No, Tell me another one." He talking about, well, this is what they told me. I'm like, who the fuck is they? I said that
Mm,
it's always got to be the infamous they, right? And like I said, he can never tell me. I'm like, yeah. I just told him like, dog, just go and say you was old full of shit soldier, right? You know, they chaptered your
he might have
motherfucking
went
ass.
to he might have went to a recruiting station and just never
Yeah,
did it, and then grew up around a base. I swear to God, he might have worked like literally on the base, like as a like a civilian, like worked on the base.
yeah.
Because or
Hell, put it like this.
listen,
There's almost
listen. I got people who have told me crazy shit. People who are grown men. I'm talking about in their 50s and 60s and 70s. I've gotten a conversation with people where they say they're telling me all about these medical issues and how they can't get nothing done at the VA. And I go, well, what's going on? They tell me the sob story, the whole gimmick. And I
uh-uh.
say, oh, you should go to the VA. And they said, "Oh, well, I went down there and I really can't get nothing done." And I served. I'm like, um, hmm. And I look at
Yeah.
their spouse and I go like, "Oh shit! This number one, this guy's not a veteran.
Uh-huh.
Number two, this dude is a mature male who's
Yeah.
lying to this family group. And number
Uh-huh.
three, what the fuck? Because like I'm like, oh, I can fix this in about 5 minutes. I'll just no problem. I got a guy at the VA. I'll just call him right now. Oh no
Uh-huh.
no no, you don't have to do all that. And I'm like, well, why not?
Yeah.
Oh
Yeah.
well, it was complicated. Actually, what happened was I got into a fight and then they kicked me. I'm like, oh fuck, you're a liar. I'm like, oh fuck,
Yeah. And
holy shit.
so
It's
yeah,
like,
but
oh, I'm a homeless veteran. It's like, sir, can I give you a ride to the VA? They literally will give you a house and a path forward. Oh, I'm not allowed to go there. Why not? Well, I served in the army. Which one? Salvation. Oh, typical. You know what I mean? Like, the fuck you talking about? Homeless
yeah,
veteran begging for. It's like it doesn't exist.
yeah, yeah, that shit though. But yeah, man, that shit was like it was like motherfucking
That shit
hilarious
kills me.
because
I'm a homeless veteran. Give me money. I seen a guy
uh
on veteran. I seen a guy on Veterans Day at Sonny's
uh
Barbecue, which is like a corporate. I don't know, like a. I don't know if they have it over there. It's just like a corporate barbecue place. Like they got them everywhere, right?
yeah,
And this dude, instead of having a VAID card or like a retirement card or on base or blah blah blah, and none of this shit, no cat card, no
uh
nothing,
yeah,
wearing fake like AC in today's world, wearing ACUs,
yeah.
like all fucked up with like tennis shoes, asking for free food. And I'm like, what
Man.
the fuck? I
Like
didn't
yeah,
say anything to him.
yeah, like wow, like really, motherfucker, what is really going on here?
Like
So
went to an army surplus store, or they just give it to the, like these homeless retreats. Like they call it like a stand down. They just give them like boots and
uh
rucksacks and all this shit. And I'm like, what the fuck? And I was gonna like for a second, I'm like, I should go ask him what's his MOS, what's it? And I was like,
uh
uh,
yeah,
he had a pet.
I get it, man. It's just for me, I'm just like, dog, come on now, just because like I said, like I said, I was really digging in this shit, right? And I was like, dog, this gonna say you was a shit soldier, right? And then and I'm looking at the comments what everybody's saying, right? And so, and if and everybody's actually really cheering me on because they knew that this motherfucker was full of shit, right? So, uh,
I
it
one
was
guy
just,
told me he's a Marine. He said, I'm a Marine. He started by saying, I'm a Marine, this and this and this. I said, what did you do in the Marines? He's like, well, we're on a ship. I said, oh, so you're in the Navy? He's like, no, well, I was a Marine. I said, oh, is that right? And he told me, it comes up, I'm a merchant Marine.
oh, okay.
Like he works at a port. You know what I'm saying? And I'm like, I mean, you really would offend me if you said the Coast Guard. What the fuck is the Merchant Marines? Well, we ship shit. Da, da, da. I said, oh, okay. Well, hey, man, I got to get into the VA because like the VA police had already come up and they were telling me like, don't talk to him. Like this guy's out of his goddamn like he's on federal property. We're about to, give him the good news. And I'm like,
Yeah.
uh, he said he's a Marine, and then he started talking about a ship, and I'm like, what the fuck is this guy talking about? And he's like, I'm like, so you were in the Navy or the Marine? He's like, and I was thinking like, well, the Marines are part of the Department of the Navy, technically. Maybe he's just out of his goddamn mind. Something happened. He fell off a goddamn. No, this guy was part of the what they call the Merchant Marines. Like you work at a port, like you're shipping fucking oranges, and it's like, what the fuck? Are you people crazy?
You
And
know
then the
that.
VA police came and they had to escort him off the fucking property. And I'm like, well, I got an appointment here in about 15 minutes, bud. They asked me for my last four, and they know who the fuck I am. So I don't know what to tell you. Like I'm getting the fuck in here.
Yeah. You know that's almost as bad. You know that's almost as bad as saying, you know what? Uh, I work for Playboy and I get to fuck all of the models, right? You know, you know, and then when it come to find out that okay, you don't work for Playboy, right? You know, or if you do work for Playboy, you the goddamn janitor there. So, you know, but you want everybody to believe that you done fucked all the models. I'm like, okay, all right. We'll see how long that lasts. You know, so
Yeah.
it's they're like say they're like it amazes me, that people they act like really they want to try to put on that facade that like well I serve too. I'm like, and then I really wish I would have been there to hear you say when you asked that guy, well, what was your MOS? And he said, well, what's your MOS? I listen. I would have
You
just.
should have saw. You should have saw. You should have saw me.
I would have just. I'd have fell over. I'd have fell over. They'd had to take me in.
I,
Listen, they would have had to
I
take
look like
me in
I look
there
like
due to excessive laughter, right? So
I look like
I'm
Chris Tucker in Rush Hour. I just went. Hey, I have my little cart. I have my little buggy, and we said I just went. Oh, and I was out of there. He's like, "What? Where are you going?" I'm just like, I was just headed towards the car. Nope, I'm
yeah,
out of here. No, the fuck are you doing? I'm like, oh, we got a
yeah,
real crazy one on our hands.
yeah. That just that just
What is? He said, what is? He said, what is an MOS? I went, oh, what? Woo. God damn! Don't you got Google? At least get
yeah,
Google, or I mean, go to the public library.
yeah. I know that's what I'm saying. He might have been one of them type of motherfuckers, right? That they'll go and buy all this shit at the military surplus store, and then they'll have all these decorations. Because I saw one, the guy he had on Sergeant Major rank on. Then he had on, I want to say captain rank on. All this shit was on. Listen, all this shit was on the same uniform, right? This motherfucker that went to jump school, and I mean,
Yeah.
that dog. Listen, his shit was like way up to here as far as like awards and decorations went, right? And and then I was like, and then he had,
This motherfucker. I need to get that. That's our first merchandise. This motherfucker said he went to jump school. This motherfucker
yeah,
apparently went to jump school. Hey, no, this motherfucker apparently went to jump school. Put it in quotes, double fingers.
yeah. So I mean, they're like,
Can you imagine they threw him out of an airplane? Be tremendous. Be great for the country.
yeah. I mean, because the shit, and then
Apparently, this motherfucker went to jump school.
and then he had all of like the service stripes, representing how many years you've been in, and
Yep, the
then
stripes.
yeah, and then he had, well, let's just say for him to act like really be a sergeant major. Hold on, listen, you got to hear this, right? In order for him to be a sergeant major, then turn around and be a captain, right? He didn't have enough service stripes to explain all that. I mean, yeah, I get it. You can fast track, but no, this motherfucker.
There's this guy on YouTube. You should look it
Uh,
up after we get off. We have to get off in about 15 minutes.
yeah.
There's this guy on YouTube. He does a show called I think it's Buds 131, but his name is, just type in Don Shipley. He's an ex
Okay.
Navy SEAL, like a real deal. and
Yeah.
all he does is expose like stolen valor. That's
I think
all
I
he
see. I
does.
think I know what he's talking about. I think I
He's like a
read a
white
couple.
dude with a beard, and this dude lights these motherfuckers up. And he has like the whole manifest. He's still talking to like active SEALs. It's not that many of them. People think like I think they watch too many goddamn movies or something. And he has the
Yeah.
man. He's like, oh yeah, what class were you in? What you know? And they're like, what does a class mean? And he's like, what? Like what? Like what the fuck are you talking about? And it is cringeworthy, but it's good. And this guy's a legit Navy SEAL. His sons are Navy SEAls. He did it his entire fucking life, and he's just not real thrilled about it. You know what I mean? And it's like he decided to go on YouTube and give these guys the good news. All he does like a charity on the side. Great guy, by the way, Don
Uh,
Shipley. And it's just wow. Like he'll show up at people's jobs where they were on like faked on resumes that they were vets of some sort, and
uh,
then because you get preferential treatment in certain
yeah.
corporations. If you're a veteran, you literally get like federal preferential treatment,
Uh,
and it's special to watch. It's fun.
yeah.
I watch a few of them, and I start to go like I feel bad for these guys because it was like they wanted to join the military, they never did it. They stayed in their hometown, and they're just pussies, really. And
Yep.
now they're living a lie, and it's bizarre. It's
Yep.
bizarre, is what it is.
So yeah, I mean, yeah, I just yeah. Matter of fact, I
You know
just
what I'm
pulled it.
saying? Like I think they want to be in the military.
Yeah.
Like, just go.
Or you know what? It could have been. You know what? Look. Let's look at it like this, right? Let's look at it like say, okay, say that they did, but let's just say that okay, they barely made it through basic, and they barely made it through AIT, right? And then by the time they actually got to their actual unit, they were so much of a shit soldier, they just got chaptered out, you know, because because I'm so glad that a lot of people like when Veterans Day come out, right? And I've seen a lot of people say, well, hey, look, basic and AIT don't count. You at least have to have done you at least gotta graduate that shit first and act like really being an actual unit, right?
They literally just they make it distinctive. You go from TRADOC, which stands for trading, to ForceCom. When they say,
Yeah,
or you can make it simpler, you say cross the tracks.
yeah. So
Seriously,
so yeah, so
there's
that's just
a
how
designation. Oh, yeah, TRADOC time, how much time you're in training, and then you have ForceCom, where you're actually in a force or a unit.
yeah. So it just like I say, it was always funny uh for me, right? Because
Yeah, ask them. You should ask some of
it,
these people. How much time you spend in TRADOC or ForceCom? They're like, what? It's like, okay.
it did because
Could I see your
listen,
EIB? No. All right. Can I?
I just see listen. I mean because I done had to deal with so many knuckleheads while I was in. And I'm just like, and that be the first thing that fly out my mouth. I'll be like, damn, how the hell did you make it through basic and AIT? Like,
That's
really?
what
I had
you have to ask this because if
yeah,
you say basic training, they know from movies. You need to tell them like, where'd you go to AIT at? And if they say anything weird, you go, oh,
yeah. And so I had one soldier because I was digging in his shit so tough because the motherfucker never kept his room clean, right?
oh yeah.
And the motherfucker started crying, like right there. And I'm just like,
What on a room inspection?
yeah.
Oh boy.
Because I'll never forget it. It was right before it was right it was late it was Veterans Weekend, before the 4 day happens. And so I checked his room. His room was jacked up. And, I was like, look, you got 4 days to make sure that this room is square, right? I come back here on Monday morning and this room look like this. It's going to be your ass. Exactly what I told him, right? And then, sure as shit, Monday morning comes around, look like a goddamn tornado hit that bitch. And I'm just like,
What the fuck?
exactly, right?
Did he have a
And
shared room or is it an individual room?
no, he was here by himself.
Oh fuck.
And and the first sergeant, I could, because I told the first sergeant about it. So the first sergeant, he was up there, and the like said, the motherfucker started crying. And after, when I saw that,
About
I said,
cleaning the room?
huh?
About cleaning the room?
Yeah, because it was still fucked up. Matter of fact,
Oh, that,
it
that,
was,
that, that, that that's how motherfucker gets everyone killed right there.
yeah. And and I told Top then, I said, you know what, Top, you deal with it, you know.
Oh,
And I walked out, I mean, because I'm like, damn, motherfucker, you
can you
crying?
imagine? Let me hold on. Let me get this straight. So you still let him have his 4 day. You were being cool, and you said just make sure it's done within the 4 day weekend.
Yeah,
Oh my fucking! What a dumbass.
you know. I mean,
That's a
and then he
dumbass.
put like
Okay,
this.
okay. If you can't manage that, how are you gonna manage it? Oh my
I mean,
god.
because even then, the first sergeant was with me before the 4 days started. So everything that I'm telling you, right? The first sergeant he was there before the 4 days started. And I asked him, I was like, "Well, Top, is it cool? He got 4 days to get his room square." He said, "You know what, Sir Harris, go ahead." He said, "You know what, Sir Harris, that's a pretty good idea. Go ahead, let him have it, and we'll come back up here on Monday morning." So the first sergeant was cool with it, right? So we go back up there Monday morning, and the shit was worse than what it was. And so and
Mm.
so
What,
yeah,
what
so
was he like? Did he say like at ease? Anything when you guys walked in a room, or did he give a fuck?
he now he now because he didn't even say that. He didn't even say that because he already knew the room was fucked up.
No, hold on. So when you guys breach the room, break the barrier in the room, he didn't say at ease. He didn't stand up or
No,
nothing. Okay.
because he
Well,
already
well,
he already knew that the room was fucked up, right?
well.
And so I was like, damn,
That's a dumbass. I don't know who it is, but sir, you are a dumbass. That's all I
so
can tell you.
and then and then I looked at him like, damn, you ain't even gonna holler at ease, right?
That is fucking wild.
He because
What did he
it
do?
he he
Was he
didn't
a Kango or what?
yeah, he was a no, he was fire control, I believe, you know.
Okay, so 14 Echo. What? I mean, like what? Like on radar or just doing what?
I think
Or
he was in
was
the
he
ECS.
even assigned to a truck or just like they're like get the fuck
Yeah,
out of here or what?
he was in the van. He was in the ECS, you know.
How
So
old was he?
shit.
Was
He
he a
like
gamer? Was he a gamer?
uh
Did he play like games,
no,
like video games?
I mean he had a laptop in there, but it wasn't like it
He
put
was
like this.
just messy as hell.
Yeah, he just messy. He was just one of those.
They didn't want to fucking listen.
No,
What was his PT like?
shitty.
Typical. Sounds
Yeah,
about
I
right.
mean he did good if he put like this. Put like this. For him to score 230, that would have been like scoring
230.
300 for him.
Oh no.
Always had to get, he always had to get
Nah, it's
taped.
always a by the way. By the way.
Always, he always had to get taped. So and
Hmm.
so they were just like, and then because I used to be in charge of the. I swear, like every unit that I was in, damn man, that I was always, I always was in charge of remedial PT. You know, And
Remedial PT.
I bullshit you not. You know, they were like, sorry, Harris, you know,
No, I'm not trying to make fun of guys that have
yeah,
a hard time with it, but it's like I remember one time I was a young man in Kunsan, and just a few times we worked out in the gym. We really didn't need to work out in the gym. We had PT every goddamn day. But
yeah.
you went to Suwon, and I ended up scoring a 331 on that motherfucker. And you know why I scored a 331? Because you were in the gym and you told me this ain't shit. You need to push this shit up. Yeah, your running's great. This is great. That's great. You know how to do these. You're on the launcher. Blah 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 blah. But you just got to get stronger. And it's like nobody wants to fucking hear that.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody wants to hear that. Well,
Yeah,
you got to get stronger. Oh well, shit. I don't know. 8 months later, I scored a 331.
yeah. So
Well, big bad. Sorry, Harris. What a bad guy, huh? The
so
big bag angry wolf. They gave me an AAM for that shit. You know what I'm saying?
yeah.
I don't give a
Um,
fuck. I'm
oh
running.
yeah.
I'm doing this. I'm doing that. I'm in the gym. It's like weak as fuck. You need to start doing this. Okay. Nobody. I
Yeah.
don't think anybody wants to hear that.
No, and then just like saying,
It's
and
okay to
black
be weak
people,
as fuck. Start to get
yeah,
stronger. That's it.
and then when I went to Korea the second time around, and then they looked at my PT card and like, oh, by the way, you in charge of remedial PT. I'm like, God damn it, right? So and so it was just one listen. So listen, I gotta tell you this. I gotta tell you this. Then we'll cut it off, right? So this guy, big tall guy, right? He was overweight, like he was like really like overweight. So and this motherfucker, but before I got him, I think about the farthest that he could run was from the barracks to down the end of the motherfucking street, and then he was
Damn.
done, right? So they were like, Sar Harris, like, look, whatever. They basically told me, like, Sar Harris, whatever you can do with this soldier, it will be a great help for us. I'm like, okay, all right. So I never get it. The first day I got him, right? And, I just told him, I said, look, just know that it's from here on out, it's going to be holy hell for you, right? So we go to the chow hall, right? So, and then he's looking at me like, well, can I eat this? I'm like, look, eat what you want to, but just know it may come running up out of you here in a couple of hours, right? So and so
You
I'm
you
looking.
have to do it like after 1700, like after end of the day.
No, it was like they did that like it was like from 2:30 to like 1600 or whatever. So
Ah, interesting.
so
Shit, I would have liked that. Just work out
so
middle of the day.
so anyway, we in the defect, right? So I already ate what I'm supposed to eat, right? So I went over. So I'm looking for him, right? And so once I spotted him, right, then I went over. I go get me an ice cream cone, right? And the ice cream said like this hand. This is where the cone stopped at, and the rest of it was straight up ice cream, right? So I went over there where he was eating, right? And I said right across from him, right? And I was eating that damn ice cream right in front of his fucking face, right? And I was like, ooh, don't you wish you could do this right now, right? And then I told him, I said, I'm giving your ass incentive to make it, right? So, but needless to say, after a couple of months with him, he lost 20 pounds, and he went from a 215 to 270 on his PT test.
Holy shit. That's all you need, a little bit of motivation. I took
You
that
know?
same energy. It was different in Alpha. When we were in Alpha 4-5, when we came, in Korea coming back from Fort Hood, it left, but
Yeah.
when we were there, on PT test, I don't know what you want to call it, like a pace setter. Because some
Yeah.
guys would be like their record, some guys that wouldn't be, and I would just get done with mine like 12 minutes. I was a
Yeah.
fucking gazelle at
Yep.
that.
Yes,
Not now,
yeah.
not now. Then I was
Yeah.
a fucking, I was a gazelle, and I would get done. I don't give a fuck. I was a at that point. I've already completed a marathon like 4 months ago, and it was no problem. I would like get back out there on the track. It was such a shit track what we had when we got back to Fort Hood. It was
Yeah.
like back and down, back and forth, instead of
Yeah.
just like
That shit was.
you know what I'm
Yeah. That was.
saying?
Yeah. That was so much
Fucking
shit. That was
crazy,
ridiculous. Yeah.
fucking ridiculous. But anyhow, and there's like all these different fucking units and porta potties and anyways. I
Yeah.
was fucking running back and like motivating guys like pace them, meaning like he needs to run based on his age, based on his weight this time. Okay, no problem. So I'd get done and then I'd go back out there in like for the last fucking lap, get these guys fucking motivated. Like we're doing the same shit we're in PT, but I was just like, you better fucking beat me, motherfucker, you better be like well, you know how
Yeah.
it was. But I was just like, I would be doing this shit, these guys throwing up, but some of these guys they made it fucking through. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I
Like
know,
they
man.
made it through. But it's
Yeah.
like people will quit on the cardio. They'll quit. They will just quit.
Yeah.
And they'll just quit. And like it was just inspiring to me. One time we had this one dude, I'm not gonna say his name on a live stream, and he just told me, he told me he, we're like, I don't know, 20 meters. We'll call it 20 meters. I don't know, maybe 20 yards from the finish line where all the command is. They got the clipboards, the stopwatch, the whole shit going on. And he says, this is not a record for me. So he was
Oh,
just jogging. And I'm yelling at him. And I say, and there's like a lot of command down there. And I'm like, motherfucker, that's your fucking problem right there.
yeah.
You need to run every lap like it's a record. That way you
Yeah.
don't have this issue. That's what I'm saying to him before I get him across the finish line and go back around. Little did I know, there's like 3 core there, there's motherfuckers there, and they're like, yeah, I like that. And I go back up and I'm running people in and I'm just yelling, you better beat me, you better beat me. And I'm on their ass, you better beat me. And they did it. And they beat it by like 3 to 4 seconds. And you could see the look in their eyes like, I did it. And they
Yeah.
did it. And they fucking did it.
Yeah. And
Otherwise, you become like a fucking loser in the unit. Next thing you know, you're not getting promoted. Next thing you know, you're not re-enlisted. Next thing you know, your fucking family hates you. It's not a good cycle.
no, it's not. It really is. You know. And it's if it's just like even with me, and like it was a lot of units that I was in. I was either put like this. I was either the oldest or I was in the top five. As far as like age goes, right? And I would look at I would look at some of the other NCOs and the officers as well, right? I'm like, fuck wrong with y'all, right? I'm older than y'all and I'm outdoing y'all, right? So, and then another thing would really would always piss me off. They was like, "Well, sorry, Harris, you in a older age bracket." I was like, "Motherfucker, I can beat your ass in your age bracket, right?"
Exactly.
So I'm just like,
I can tell you where our unit went to shit when Sergeant Harris didn't instruct the what we call it. We'll call them push-ups for the civilian public. It didn't instruct push-ups for us. And people are not going to understand what we're saying here. But there's push-ups and then there's push-ups.
yeah, yeah,
We call it lead and press, but
uh,
for the civilian public,
uh,
as soon as that shit left, it was bullshit.
you know,
The only thing that was comparable after everyone fucking left. And it was a whole new regime in Alpha
yeah,
4-5, and they would be like on Mondays. First on Caldwell, he would say like, Ed Clawan, front left, we're running today, and
Uh-huh.
you just hear Hathorne like, God damn it, Clawan, don't fuck around. We're going. And
You know, it's
I'm like,
you
no,
know,
we're going to the PX, around the motherfucking PX. We're going
yeah.
everywhere.
It's funny where that like out of all the units that I've been in, and then like the last couple of units that I was in, we was matter of fact when we was in UAE, I'll never forget it. And it was just one female NCO, right? We're good friends right to this day. And she would call herself, well, I wouldn't say that she would try to challenge me, right? But I'm just like, you know what? Slow your roll, right? Because I can take you in the gym right now and show you an exercise and you won't get past 5 reps. Do not fuck with me. That's exactly what I told her. And so so like every motherfucker, okay, well, and so I'm like, so and then again, I was like, okay, you sure you want to do this? So like, yeah, 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 I'm sure, right? So I put it on there. What is this? When it's incline, when it's like
Yeah.
this, right? So I showed her
She's
what I was
pushing
gonna
it
do,
up
right?
like an incline, like a shoulder press.
Yeah, it was like no, we was on the incline bench, right?
Oh, okay.
And so I took a 45-pound plate, right? And I put that 45-pound plate behind my head, right? Right? I said, now if you could do 5 of these, I'll leave you alone, right? So, but I ended up doing 20, right? Just to show her. And I went and listen. I went all the way back. You know, my shoulder blades actually really hit the mat, and I brought it back up, right? And so I just say, look, if you can do 20 of these, right? I mean, I said, if you can do 5 of these, I'll leave you alone. And so then I said, you know what? And then I said, you know what? Old Sar Hair's gonna do you a favor, right? You ain't even gotta do 45 pounds. I'm gonna give you the 25, right? Right? Because we already know. Because I told her, I said, look, you put this 45-pound weight behind your head, you're not getting back up, right? So I just like, I give you benefit of the doubt. Do it with the 25, right? She couldn't do it with the 25. And so I just told her then, I was like, look, don't you ever in your life call yourself trying to challenge me when it comes to PT. You will lose. I'm so sorry to tell you, right? And
And it's
then
so important.
and then we had a there was another incident. Again, there UAE, and I think I told you this. I think I told you about this. And motherfucker come in my gym with a goddamn Superman shirt on.
Oh yeah, 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 yeah.
Yeah.
He told me this one.
And so I just looked at him,
Hold on,
right?
hold on, hold on. Give the people a teaser. We're at 1 hour, 30 minutes. We're gonna start the next show. I don't give a damn
Yeah.
if it's tomorrow.
Uh-huh.
We could start the next show with the Superman teaser,
Uh-huh.
and also, ladies and gentlemen, the big bad Rambo Zach. Listen, I don't think you guys understand. When I was a 20-year-old male, 19-year-old male in Kunsan, South Korea, after 5 pull-ups, shivering, basically shaking, trying to get back up, and Curtis Harris asked me to grab that. I said, "What's that?" He said, "That's the heavy champ." He said, "That's the heavyweight championship belt." And he put weights on a weight belt as he did pull-ups in front of a young man, in front of Rambo Zach himself. And I said, "Oh shit, there's levels to this shit." So
So just let y'all know.
you
Hey,
gotta
look,
let him
just let
know.
y'all know. At 40, listen, at 49, look, still got it. So
No,
again,
hey, give him the teaser. Give him the teaser. Just a little taste. Don't give him the whole
yeah,
tip.
but
Give him just a, we'll call it. Your wife can't get mad. Say just a tip. Give
yeah.
him just a tip
So
here.
so anyway, we in the gym. Oh, I'm in the gym already, right? And I had already been in there for like about maybe 45 minutes to an hour. So I'm on the bench or whatever. And then so he comes in, right? And first and foremost, like I said, you coming in my gym, right? Then you gonna come in here, then you gonna just stand in the door looking at everybody like everybody's supposed to motherfucking bow down to you, right? So and so one of my homeboys, because I saw him, and he was like, so I looked at that mask on, and then I looked at my homeboy, right? And then I looked back at the mask on, and I looked back at my homeboy again. He was like, "Sorry, Harris, no." Right? So I'll leave it like I'll
Just
leave it
a tip.
like that. I'll leave it like that, right? So,
You
but
know,
just know,
to this day, I have dreams about that gym at Kunsan.
oh yeah, yeah, that was a nice ass gym. It really
Yeah,
was.
I'm saying that because the Air Force, they don't work out like we do. It's basically private most of the time. And where we rolled it, I remember I rolled in there with you one time. And I'm like, I seen the way you're talking to the girl at the front. You get the towels, you little sign in. That's the way the sauna was. I mean, the basketball, the, the track on the ups. That was incredible.
Yeah.
I missed
I
that
mean,
gym.
because I always had to go, because I would always had to go up to the front desk to sign out the 150-pound dumbbells because they didn't keep them.
Just a
Well,
flex.
because
Just a
they
flex.
didn't keep them. They didn't keep them on the rack like with the rest of them, right? And so, and then so when it had got where that it had got so bad, right? That you know when I come in, right? Depending on who was at the desk, right? I really think they went back and told all the rest of their buddies, right? They said, look, if there's a little short bald head guy coming here, right, and he just give you the nod,
From the army, and they knew who was army and
yeah,
who wasn't, because there was only
yeah,
fucking 70 of us on the damn base.
yeah. And so if he just give you the nod, just know that probably like 30 minutes from now, he come asking for them 150-pound dumbbell,
It's weird.
right?
I never had an issue getting a date or finding the 35-pound dumbbells. It was never an issue for me. You know what I'm saying? It was just
Yeah,
never. Yeah, Kurt. They always had the 35-pound dumbbells for me there.
yeah. So I mean, and then I mean, there's so many stories that I can actually really tell about
That was a good gym, though. No,
at that
serious.
gym.
And upstairs, I'm telling you, that was next level.
Yeah, mother people, and just like motherfuckers, tried to challenge me there. I
Oh,
mean, I think every gym that I went to while I was in, somebody was actually really trying to challenge me in some type of shape or form. A lot of it was people in the unit. A lot of it was people from the Air Force and all that kind of stuff. And
oh.
then, and I'm just like, dog, you do
And
not
I
want
think
this.
I think the Air Force guys got pissed when the Air Force girls were like,
Yeah, they was
"Look at the
like,
army."
I was telling them like, dude, y'all don't want this smoke, like seriously, So, and then like that one, yeah, I told you about that one incident that I cleared everybody out at
Yeah.
the ATM. So that's
Oh
tough.
yeah. Oh yeah.
So
And one thing I really loved about Kunsan, and I would do it every Sunday before we wrap this up. I would do it every Sunday. The tack site. So basically, like
uh,
the flight line, it had a loop that was probably, I guess, depending on how you go, I don't know, maybe like 5 miles, depending on, not like around like a circle, but depending on how you
yeah,
get back to like the battalion. And
uh,
like they had a seawall, and I would run out there, and on the flight line, especially on the weekend, there was nobody out there, and I was training for that marathon. I would do my little thing at the gym, and then I go out there and run, and it was just, I think about it to this day. What a
yeah,
special place, Kunsan, South Korea. And what's interesting is, I'm a 100% service connected veteran, and like you have space available flights, like you could take space. They call them Space A flights.
yeah.
And from Tampa, guess where they got them in Korea?
Where,
There's two spots. Guess where they're
where
at?
about, where about? Is it Tucson or is it Osan?
Yongsan, or Seoul in Kunsan.
Ooh, yeah. You know what? I've been to Seoul. I've been to Seoul once.
Dragon Hill Lodge. They have a hotel there on base that is it's incredible.
Yeah, and I've been like I say, I went to Seoul once, and now that I think about it, I'm mad that I didn't put that in my book because
Yeah, but you could take a Space A flight.
yeah, I mean, but I mean, shit, man, I ain't gonna go. Shit, the wife ain't gonna let me go across the water. Nah,
No,
you
you
know.
could
So,
take her. You could take her with you. You could have one dependent with you.
yeah, but she's scared of
Oh, she ain't gonna like that flight because it's a different situation than like a commercial flight.
yeah. So, but yeah, man, it's you know, Korea was
I love Korea.
yeah, Korea most definitely was a total and complete different animal. It really was. You have to actually really go over there to to experience it. I mean, I don't know how it is now, but I'm just saying like with the group that we had, right?
Oh,
It was
the
without
best.
question, it was something actually like really special. It really was.
It was best. All right, that's it for now, ladies and gentlemen. But when you want to do the next show, I'm
Man.
down. You want to go tomorrow? You want to go the next
We could
day?
do.
What?
We could do it tomorrow because
Okay.
I talked to because Smoke hit me up and because I thought she was gonna be in on this one, but she said she most definitely she'll be on tomorrow's show.
What time?
So
Same time tomorrow?
yeah, around about the same time. Yeah.
I got to be off by 4:30 though. I got a group with the
Okay, that's cool.
VA. Like it's a video. What do they call it? Video Connect. It's like Zoom for the VA,
Yeah,
and
yeah,
then I
yeah,
start at 4:30, and then we'll be good by then because we just do 2 hours now.
yeah, something like that. Well, we had a
1:40.
yeah, hour 45 right now. So, but
Okay.
yeah, this
So,
is good.
so same time tomorrow.
Yeah. So till tomorrow, dog. So as I end every show, hey, guess what? Tell your mama, tell your daddy, tell Big Dan, tell Big Bertha, your uncle, your auntie, your grandma, your papa, and your meemaw, motherfucker next door across the street round the corner. Paulus Harris, aka Crazy Uncle. Till next time.
Peace.
All right.